Before there was light, there was darkness. Before there was time, there was nothing. No stars, no planets, not even space itself. But then something happened. A spark, smaller than an atom, erupted with unimaginable force, and from that single moment, the universe was born. This is the story of everything, of stars and galaxies, of time and space, of destruction and creation. This is the story of us, forged from the fires of dying stars, written into the dust of the cosmos.
Chapter 1: The Big Bang.
Roughly 13.8 billion years ago, the universe, as we know, burst into existence. Not from an explosion in space, but an explosion of space itself. In a fraction of a second, far less than a blink, the universe expanded from a singularity smaller than a grain of sand to something vast enough to hold galaxies. This moment, known as the Big Bang, wasn't just the birth of matter, it was the birth of time, of physics, of the laws that govern all existence. And yet, it was silent. There was no air, no sound, only blinding energy, unimaginable heat, and a chaos that would become order. The universe cooled. The first particles began to form protons, neutrons, and electrons dancing in the chaos. Inertia became matter. Light finally broke free, the first light to ever shine. Still echoing across space today is the cosmic microwave background. Every atom in your body, every planet, every star, all of it began here. The universe was young, hot, and wild, expanding rapidly, stretching space itself, and in its infancy, it held the seeds of everything that would one day become galaxies, planets, and life. It would take time, hundreds of millions of years, for the universe to cool enough for the first stars to ignite, and when they did, the darkness was over. The cosmic lights turned on, and the great structures of the universe began to take shape. You are about to witness that journey, from the first stars to the farthest galaxies, from the birth of our own sun to the mysteries that lie beyond the edge of the observable universe. This is not science fiction. This is science, stranger and more beautiful than anything we could ever imagine.
Chapter 2: The First Stars and Galaxies.
Hundreds of millions of years passed in darkness, a silent universe still finding its form. Then, in the vast emptiness, gravity went to work. It pulled together clouds of hydrogen, the simplest and most abundant element in the cosmos. As the atoms clumped together, pressure rose, heat built up, and then it happened. First stars were born. These were giants, far larger than our sun, hot, bright, and short-lived. They lived fast, died young, and went out in titanic explosions, supernovae that seeded space with heavier elements, carbon, oxygen, iron, everything needed for planets, oceans, and life. The universe was no longer just a dark sea of hydrogen. It had become a cosmic forge, crafting the ingredients of reality. Over time, these stars began to gather in massive clusters, drawn together by invisible threads of gravity. They spun, collided, and merged, becoming the first galaxies. Some were spiral, some elliptical, some irregular and chaotic, but each one held billions, even trillions of stars. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, was just one among countless others, a shimmering island in the cosmic ocean. With stars came light, with galaxies came structure. The universe was now a place of staggering beauty, and unimaginable violence. Black holes were born from the deaths of massive stars. Some grew to monstrous size at the center of galaxies, warping time and space around them. Jets of energy shot from these ancient engines, light years long, blazing brighter than galaxies. The cosmos had awakened, and it was spectacular. But among the trillions of stars now burning, only a few would create the kind of conditions needed for something more, something fragile, something conscious. And somewhere, in the quiet corner of an unremarkable galaxy, a star like no other was about to be born.
Chapter 3: The Birth of Our Solar System.
In a quiet arm of the Milky Way, a cloud of gas and dust began to stir. It was ancient, enriched by generations of exploding stars, hydrogen, helium, and tiny traces of heavier elements, the building blocks of everything familiar to us today. About 4.6 billion years ago, gravity pulled this cloud together. It collapsed inward, spinning faster and faster, like a cosmic whirlpool. At its heart, pressure and heat soared, and in the center, a star ignited. Our sun was born, a medium-sized star with a bright future. Around it, the leftover dust and debris didn't go to waste. Instead, it clumped, collided, and fused, forming rocks, ice, and growing bodies. This was no gentle process. It was violent, cataclysmic. Worlds smashed together. Some were destroyed, others endured. Over tens of millions of years, these swirling remnants became 8 planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Alongside them came moons, asteroids, comets, and dwarf planets, all part of a dynamic, evolving system. And on one tiny, rocky planet, something extraordinary began to happen. The right distance from the sun, the presence of water, a magnetic field, an atmosphere. Earth had what it needed. Life, simple at first, began to emerge. From single-celled organisms in ancient oceans, to forests, reptiles, mammals, to civilizations. But long before humans walked the Earth, the universe had already written its legacy into every atom of our bodies. We are, quite literally, made of star stuff. The story of our solar system is one of chaos giving way to harmony, of dust becoming worlds, of stars lighting the path.
Chapter 4: Life, Earth, and the Search for Others.
Earth, a pale blue dot in a vast cosmic sea. For billions of years, life evolved here in quiet majesty. Photosynthesis flooded the atmosphere with oxygen. Continents shifted. Oceans surged. Volcanoes raged. And eventually, intelligence emerged. Humans began to wonder, to ask questions, to look up. We mapped the stars, built telescopes, launched satellites. We walked on the moon. We sent probes to Mars. We sent Voyager into interstellar space, carrying golden records. Messages to anyone who might be listening. But we also searched for life beyond. Could it exist beneath the icy crust of Europa? In the methane lakes of Titan? Or among the exoplanets? Distant worlds orbiting distant suns? In just the last few decades, we've discovered thousands of these alien planets. Some rocky, some gaseous, some in the Goldilocks zone. Not too hot, not too cold. Statistically, the universe should be teeming with life. Yet, we found nothing. No signals. No visitors. Only silence. This is known as the Fermi Paradox. If the universe is so vast and old, where is everyone? Some say we're alone. Others believe the distances are too great, or the civilizations too different. But one thing is certain. We are searching, and in that search, we are learning more about ourselves. We are a young species in an ancient universe, just beginning to understand the fabric of space and time, just beginning to realize how fragile, how rare, how beautiful life really is. And though we may feel small, we are the universe made conscious. Stardust with curiosity, a way for the cosmos to know itself.
Chapter 5: The expansion of the universe and the end of time.
From the moment of the Big Bang, the universe has never stopped expanding. Galaxies are not just moving through space. Space itself is stretching, carrying them farther and farther apart. At first, gravity tried to slow this expansion, but something unexpected happened. Roughly 5 billion years ago, the expansion began to accelerate, faster and faster still. What could be pushing the universe apart? We call it dark energy. It makes up nearly 70% of the universe. Yet we don't know what it is. It's invisible, undetectable, but its influence is written into the stars. Meanwhile, dark matter, another invisible force, is holding galaxies together. It shapes the cosmic web, the vast structure of the universe on the largest scales. We see its fingerprints in the way galaxies spin, and how light bends around invisible mass. Together, dark energy and dark matter dominate the cosmos. And yet, we don't know what either of them truly are. What does this mean for the future? If the expansion continues, if dark energy stays constant, then one day, galaxies will drift so far apart, their light will never reach us. The stars will burn out, matter will decay, and the universe will grow cold and dark. This is known as the heat death, a state where no usable energy remains. Time itself may lose meaning, but there are other possibilities. The Big Rip, where even atoms are torn apart, or the Big Crunch, where the universe collapses back on itself. We don't know how it will end, but we know it will change. We are living in a fleeting moment of cosmic clarity, a time when galaxies still shine and life still blooms. Billions of years from now, even the memory of light may fade. But perhaps by then, intelligent life, maybe us, will have found a way to escape our dying universe. Or perhaps we are meant to simply witness it. The universe began in fire and will end in silence. But in between, there is...
Chapter 6. A Message from the Stars.
Look up at the night sky. Every star you see is a time machine. Its light began its journey long before you were born. Some of it comes from stars that no longer exist. The universe is not just out there. It is in here, in our bones, our breath, our thoughts. Every atom in your body was forged in the heart of a star. Every heartbeat echoes a rhythm set in motion billions of years ago. We are the result of ancient collisions, quiet chemistry, cosmic patience. You are not small, you are vast. You are the cosmos made conscious, a brief flame of awareness in the darkness. We may never understand everything. We may never reach the edge of it all. But in our search, we find meaning. In our questions, we find wonder. The story of the universe is not finished. It continues, in every discovery, every child who looks up at the stars, every voice that asks, what's out there? This is our story, this is our odyssey, and it's only just beginning.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, then please like and drop your comments. For more amazing videos, please subscribe to our channel.